Alright, this is a video on drilling a weep hole. This is a 2012 F150 with Ecoboost. Having a problem with under hard throttle, high boost, it would start shuddering, cutting out like a misfire. I just bought this truck about a month ago. This was having an issue. It was throwing a code for that map sensor and for the mass air slash intake air temp. Replaced both of those. Code went away, still had the same shudder under full throttle conditions. Mechanically sound, no smoke, no weird noises. I do have to do a timing chain on this due to stretch, which will be pretty fun, but bought the truck pretty cheap, so can't be too mad about it. Probably gonna be $800 in parts. Already got all the parts for it. I'm doing the phasers with the chain as recommended by Ford. While I'm in here, I am going to do the catch can. The catch can goes in between the valve cover and the intake. I will probably do the dual catch can where it also catches the oil from the driver's side, goes down and hooks into the intake right before the turbo. Anyway, back to this. When I changed that map sensor, that thing was completely covered in oil. So once I started researching after changing those and that shudder still continued, figured this was the next best bet, plus no expense. I already had the drill bit. All you really have to do to do this is take your air dam off, depending of the model of the truck. If it has that air dam, it's two 13 mil bolts, one on the passenger side to the frame rail, the other on the driver's side to the frame rail. As you see, this intercooler sits at like a 15-degree angle in there. So where you drill that hole is actually the lowest point on that cold side of the intercooler. And at first, this all sounded kind of stupid. Drilling a hole in a pressurized system, like, well, that's just gonna let some boost out, which, probably not good, might throw a code. More research I did on it, I figured, well, a 1/16 drill bit hole in this full set, 1/16 is the smallest drill bit in this whole set. So pretty freaking tiny hole. Really, you're not going to notice any boost leak. Probably not going to hear it. Anything like that. My only concern with doing this, as it is going to have some oil drippage because I do not have that catch can system on here. Now, once the catch can system on here, really the only thing that should be dripping out of this, I'm going to drill that hole right around here. Almost like you can put the drill bit in at an angle this way. Once that catch can's in here, really the only thing that should be coming out of this hole after that is moisture from the air. Because no matter what, there's always going to be a certain amount of moisture in the air. That air gets pulled through the turbos, compressed, becomes dense. Once it goes through the intercooler, that hot air becomes cool. Well, when hot air becomes cool, the moisture comes out of it and will settle down in the bottom of this cold side tank of the intercooler. Well, it doesn't really have anywhere to go until you wide open throttle this, get full boost full boost condition, and it'll create enough pressure to shove all that oil and water up into the throttle body, into the intake, and into the engine. Which on these being direct injection, you're going to have a lot of carbon buildup on the intake valves because there's no fuel injector before them to keep them clean and cool. So I'll take a look at all that once I get in there doing the timing chains, but for right now I'm curious if drilling this hole, getting all this moisture and oil out of the intercooler, will get rid of that shutter misfire condition. I want to make sure that condition goes away before I do these timing chains, because if it doesn't, then obviously there's going to be other things I need to start looking for. So like I said, pull that air dam off, and then your driver's side, this is where the intercooler mounts into the bottom. Right about here, this is the lowest point because of the angle of the intercooler. I see some guys drilling them over here. That's not really the lowest point. This over here is the lowest point of this intercooler. That's actually about 1/8 of an inch higher than here. So I'm going to drill it right there, and I'm guessing it's going to be a milkshake looking mess coming out of here, because there's going to be oil because there's no catch can system, and moisture because we're here on planet Earth and there's moisture in the air. So I'm going to take this 16th drill bit, stick it right there. This is one of my first videos, so excuse the crudeness. Right there, lowest point. Alright, here comes some oil. Got a nice clean white towel so I can kind of see what all comes out. And I will let you guys know if this does fix my shutter under full throttle, and go from there. Thanks.